So today I'm going to be talking about a weird observation that I noticed among observing my classmates. So yes, it is confirmed. I am now back to class. How nice. Anyway, so the context was like this. I we're just just chilling in class, listening to our biology teacher explaining the basics of biology. So obviously we're talking about digestive system, skeletal system, and circulatory system. The list goes on. It's your run-of-the-mill biology class. And then once when my teacher, my my professor tackled reproductive system, this one particular classmate of mine had a weird, almost like annoyed reaction. So, first and foremost, you must understand, I, I am, by the way, I was sitting at the far right of the class, right next to the door. So I kind of like, I am kind of like observed. I have the view to observe every reactions and faces of my classmates. And then once my teacher, my professor, talked about the female hip bone being much more wider and just overall much more bigger than male hip bone, just to let the baby go, saying. Anyway, my classmate reacted a kind of like almost annoyed reaction. You know the feeling when some people are kind of like pissed off, they tend to smirk, like, I don't know how to describe and recreate the smirk, but I can tell you that right after my professor told us that the female hip bone being wider than the male hip bone, she she smirked almost like she's pissed off. And by the way, that female classmate of mine is a, I don't know what in the spectrum she is, but she's basically another LGBTQ influenced teenager. And yes, so just like what you always see in the, just in the internet, especially on Twitter or X, a lot of these LGBTQ people tend to ignore the overall anatomy and biology of a female body and a male body. Like, do you get what I'm saying? I am 100% sure that since she is, kind of like so confused on whether she is a woman or not, she cannot accept that her hip bone is wider and much more bigger than ours. Like, what? Bro, I am telling you, man, this LGBTQ woke propaganda is going insane. If you're saying, oh, the the Pride Month, the Pride Month just last month ago, it's not like it's not as celebrated compared to the previous years. Exactly. But the whole, with all due respect, the whole infections that LGBTQ LGBTQ politically woke propaganda and whatever you call it, it's still here. It's still being poisoned and I'm not really poisoned, but it's still being shot to the head. Now, one thing that I must say, obviously, I could still be wrong, as always. I am still a kid trying to learn and, just trying to improve every day and learning every day. Well, not literally every day, but you get the point. Anyway, this is just another side quest video. As you can see, I'm just observing a bunch of, weird stuffs that I think worth mentioning and being thought of.